Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the SCX24 Basecamp upgrade. We're going to finish her up today and make sure she runs. And after that, we'll have to get a hold of some guys and then see if we can't go and get her crawling. That probably will be for another video though, later down the line. But I appreciate y'all showing up. Appreciate y'all watching, and hope you enjoy the video. Now we can get back to putting this motor in. Oh, I know exactly where those nuts are. Have to go and get them when we're ready. Figure out how we want to do this. Suppose the real way to do it is just tear into it. We'll start pulling stuff apart, huh? We're gonna leave that one on there. I'm gonna take the battery tray off. Suppose we got another magnetic tray since we're on a new project, so give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Oh man. That one has seen better days. That's a little messed up, but that's okay. It didn't got to be pretty to work. Look at me. Definitely not pretty, and I still work. We're going to try to keep all this stuff separated. So if we put it back on, everything will go back on. But I believe with this setup, I'm going to move the battery from here to here, since this will no longer be here. I might cut this and put my receiver here. Battery tray. Pinch pole. Set that off to the side. So I put my microphone on you so you don't have to hear me rustling around down there, beating up the microphone. I might just pull that whole, just pull this thing off here, or we can just get it out of our way. It's been a while since I did any modifications to an RC truck this small. Kind of been on a 10th scale kick. Since we hit spring and summer and fall. Now that it's winter though, suppose we'll do a little more indoor crawling. So we'll do us Okay, so that's all of that. So that's got to come off. Alright. I have not fastened this by any means, but we'll still get the job done. Got power tools, but I prefer not to use them on this small of stuff, just because I don't want to break it. A lot easier to strip stuff out. Get that out of there. There we go. Now, let's see if I can't get this double-sided tape unstuck. Do a little pry stick here. I don't recommend doing this with a knife, but it's what I currently have right here by me. Oops, that's not what we wanted. This thing is in there good too. Get her a couple more spots here. Get her separated some. Oh. Well, Axial, your double-sided tape is significantly better than your shocks are, I can tell you that. Holy cow. There we go. There's that. Now, fun part, figuring how this whole thing comes out of here. I've never done one of these ones before, so you have to forgive me. Just learning, and if you're just learning, welcome to the show. I suppose we'll just start taking stuff off. Well, we know this drive shaft has to come off. So that whole cover's got to come off. Feartech sends their own cover for it. Keep that separate. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. Just all learning here. Well, had to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting with an SCX24. There's those. That whole thing come off of there. It goes like that. Something like that. That's going to mount in there like that. So that's actually going to flip our motor. Like that. It'd be nice if I could just swap them out here. Switch sizes on me. Alright, what do we switch to? There we go. Motor there. Got that one out there. That's going to be long enough. I don't even know if that'll fit in here. Does not fit. Alright. Might have to do a call a friend on this. Well, we know that's there. There's that one. Oh, you stay over here. Keep all you separated. Alright, so there's that. The spacer goes on the big side, or the transmission side. Back to the little ones. Alright. Get a little more organized here. You're later, you're later. Pull these mounting bolts out for the transmission. There we go. We probably don't need the motor bolts anymore. So what we'll do, we'll take them, and we will put them right back in the motor. So we don't lose them. and we don't think they go somewhere else. Alright, so that's out of our way. Those are out. Sneaky bugger up here. There we go. Pull that drive shaft off there. These ones are going to keep right here by me. We're getting ready to throw that one on. Probably should have got my mat out, but I think that's the exact same place that my wheel hexes are, which is in my house. But I figured the wife would not appreciate me ripping another RC apart in the living room. So, we're ripping it apart out here. When I got in my shop today, it was about 20 degrees in here. And now we have it to about 50 to 60 degrees in here. So we're significantly warmer now. Fairy Tech, I doubt you'll ever watch this, but in case you do, Phillips head screws, terrible thing to use in RCs. But I guess as long as you don't over torque them, shouldn't strip them out, should be okay. Last one here to put this on. Just trying to remember if I have a receiver in here anywhere. I should. Alright. Put that back on. Put the nut back on. This particular cover makes it a little harder to tighten that down. That's okay. That should be good. There we go. It's gonna sit like that, so we want those up top. figure out here. Get our mountain bolts out here for the motor. There we go. Trash. Wrong size. There we go. There's that one. Interesting. Figure out exactly what's going on here. Okay. There it is. Got it. There we go. It's already got grease on the gear, I can see it. So that's good. I like when things come pre-greased. It's nice. Helps us out. Oh man. Well, that's unfortunate. That apparently has got to go on first. So, in case you don't know, now you do. Loosen these up, get that out of my way. Get that one on there. There it is. Now normally I would put an excessive amount of grease on everything, but that's not the right way to do it. You're supposed to put just the right amount, which if you go a little bit overboard on the grease, it's not going to hurt anything, as long as you're not packing your stuff full. Something like this has got an opening at the bottom where you'll end up just pushing all the excess out anyways. So you'd be okay with a little bit extra. But this thing's got a little bit of grease on it still from the factory. I spun it and I could see it in there. So this should be okay. And come here, you. This thing probably won't get ran a whole lot. Alright. So the motor has come completely back off, I guess. So that's unfortunate. Might get some longer bolts for this anyways. This one's to me seem a little short. I don't seem to stick through real far. I don't know if you can see that or not. Not real far through there. And I'm really bad at over-tightening bolts, which is my fault. But being that I know I do that, I prefer to grab more threads so I don't over tighten them as much as possible. But for now, we're going to work with these ones, see what happens. Find us here. That one in there, started. Find this one. That one in there and started. A little too tight on the mesh on that one. A little too loose. There we go. That's better. Oh, too tight now. Problem with these little ones, big ones you can stick a piece of paper in or something like that, so that's super nice. Little ones can't really do as easy. go. What in the craziness is going on here? So as soon as we tighten those up, it just pinches it right down. I just sent it down in there. Looks all good. A little tighter than I'd like. Alright. Now let's see if we can mount this thing back in here. Time my drive shaft up here. There we go, that's timed up. Go ahead and set that bad boy down in there. 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 of them on there, so that'd be these 3. There we go. Little stinker was just not having it. Now we got her. Okay, so getting started. Flip this bad boy over and start the other 2 before we just start tightening everything up. That way everything's in line. There we go. Alright, so that's all in now. Now I'll put this drive shaft back on. There's that one. A bunch of wiring in our way now. Figure out over here. That is down and down. So get these two slid back together, hopefully. Oh, come on. Being kind of a silly goose here. There it is. Maybe. Come on. There you go. There we go. Alright, so those all have to be there. Are we going to fit this? We are not. So that is problematic. But this is actually way back here. Interesting. I don't know. Give me 1 minute. Good now. Figured it all out. Gonna make a call to Jamie. But he got me straightened out. Jamie has several of these SCX24s. So he let me know what was going on. So shout out to Jamie. Appreciate it, sir. So what we gotta do is flip the pan around. Well, I got wood all in my hand. Had to throw some more wood in the fire. So we'll take that out. Take this out. This whole pan flipped around so we can flip our motor around. Put everything back together where it goes. Let's see, we're done with that. Get that out of the way. That's there. All of them out of that side. I'll wait for my fingers to warm up here. Oh, missed one on that side. Silly me. this bad boy off there. For this should be the last one from this side. Two more on this side, and then pop her out, flip her around, swap drive shafts around. And my nose is running. Starting to cool back off. Sun went down, or is going down. It's behind the clouds. Come on. I know you want to come out of there. There we go. Alright. Get the front axle off of there. There we go. Got sawdust all over me. Pop these off for the rear. That out of there. Drive shafts. Is that one? That one. Let's go ahead and put them on now. Flip them around. Since we're out in the open. One thing I don't know is there's some tabs on. Come on. I know you want to cooperate. Cooperate. Guess you really didn't want to cooperate. That's okay. Okay. That one. That one was much better. Much more cooperative. Alright, yeah, there we go. Let's see if this one fits in here like this. Should. Drive shaft back up. There we go. Beautiful. That one's in. Line these up here. That one. And that one. Oops, wrong hole. There we go. So, I got those in. We can put these back in here. Oops, hold it back out. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. We are getting somewhere now. Let's finish putting all these in. Okay. Back axle's reinstalled. Now for the front. Bring this up through here. Come on. Just had you in there. There we go. Okay. Now, for this one. There it is. Beautiful. Oh, she just slipped out. But not all the way. Very nice. There it is. There it is. Alright. Goes there. Line drive shaft up. Slide that back in. Flip her over. Pop that down. There we go. There we go. Alright. So that's all back together now. Now we can put this back on. Oops. There we go. Alright. It's there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's good to keep all your bolts separated from pieces you take out, because you can count how many bolts you need. You're more likely to get the right ones. Spin this sucker around. And the last bolt for this piece. There we go. Alright, now we can put the shocks back on. Try to keep that axle in place, make it a little easier for us to work on things. That one. And then this one. There we go. Alright. So there's all that. So that is installed now. Make sure all my shocks are tight. They do not appear to be. That one was snug. There we go. Alright. So there's that. Okay. Now, tires back on. Oh. Okay, so I did happen to find wheel axes. So that's useful. I have brass and plastic. Oh yeah, those ones are significantly thicker. I think the brass ones, though, we have to use these. Nope, those do not fit. So we might throw the brass ones on, but the brass ones, it appears, are the same length. And that's not what we want. Go ahead and pop these off of here. I'll throw a brass one on just to see where we're at with it. I'd like to get a little more weight on there. I'll still stick out a little bit farther. Put a wheel on there and see where we're at. Oh yeah, we're going to go with brass ones. That definitely works better. Cool. Nuts. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. I like that a lot better. So go ahead and pop all these off and throw brass ones on. Give it just a little more weight down low. O-ring came out. I'll throw that back in there when we get done. There we go. Oop. There it is. There's that. O-ring on there for some reason. Don't know. Doesn't seem important if it is. Well, not important of us not to leave it. There we go. You stay on there, silly goose. Put that bad boy on there. Just snug it on there. I think. Probably what we'll do is take this thing to the old grinder and get her a little bit smaller. But she's a little too big for what we need it for. That was on there. Ish. Good enough. Go. That's done. Just had to, not wanting to focus there, but just had to take just a little bit off of it. Just clean up the edge some. Just so we can get in there. Still bounces real bad. That's okay. Put these in back here with our spare parts. Alright. So now we've got that. So that's good to go. Now this is not going to fit in here any longer. Some of it will. Will it still fit? I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out. Doubt it. Looks like the motor sits a little higher. Will not. So, thinking if we cut that off there. I'll stick battery up here and then this up here. Yeah. Thinking that's probably what we'll do. If not, I guess we'll buy new. Since this one just not going to be there anymore. Yeah, cut it kind of funny and then we'll trim it to where we need it to be at. Right. Well, should fit in like that. That's about all we need because we're just going to mount a receiver on it. So we'll call that good. Ooh, bouncy. I doubt it's going to fit like that. Nope, sticks over that too much. But have our receiver sitting here somewhere. Put that back there before I lose that. We'll need that later. There, receiver. Yeah, we're gonna need that whole thing there. Unless I can mount the receiver back here. Which actually looks like we might just do that. Yeah. Not quite. Alright. So, in here it is. There's that one. Oh yeah. I could trim that up if I wanted to. There's that. Beautiful. Okay, now I got everything figured out here. Got that on there. Got our receiver, got our remote. Let's see here, where do we want to go at? Right there. There we go. Stick that bad boy there. Peel her off. Let's see here, how do we want to go? That's all over there. So we'll run this way. Across here. Onto there. Let's just hope that body still fits. Ah, shoot. Does not. Alright, so that's not gonna work. Interesting. Pop that back off. Try to figure this out. What if we swap these two? Put this bad boy back here. Get all my wires out of my way. I said out of my way. Go around here. Fits. Alright. Okay. So I guess we'll do that. Take this bad boy here. Stick him on there. So servo's on one. Alrighty then. Okay. We'll find out. Do this switch. This receiver is a little much for this. This is a 6-channel one. Pull that bind out. Off to the side. Get some zip ties out for this. Go ahead and... What time is it here? 4:30. We're going to have to get going here soon. Just leave just a little bit for that servo to move up and down with that axle. One more zip tie about right there, huh? There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, forgot the power button. That's okay, we got more we gotta do here. Oh, there's a tie. There we go. Probably could have slipped that one in there. Probably cut that one off. There we go. Oh yeah. Go. What you do is you take that bad boy and stick her in there like that. Battery's on. There we go. Put that down like that. There you go. Completed base camp. Alright. Couple spare bolts. Ones we didn't use. A little concerned we got 4. But that'll be alright. It will be fine. Just take her over here just a little bit. There she moves. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's get in here. Down here. Throttle. Let's see if I can remember this. Model. Reverse. There we go. Steering. Normal, reverse. There we go. Oh yeah. Now we're getting her figured out, boys. Woo. She's fine. All right. Let's shrink down there. There we go. That's all done. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe.